and that's great for me. There it is. I've met all my marks. Great. All right, guys. Let's keep the show going. Your next comic coming to the stage. You're going to love her. Let's get a big round of applause for Wendy Salas.
Hi, everyone. I don't know how I'm going to follow that. Thank you, Joe. And I'm going to be talking about some other topics. Diversify the thing. So, you guys know how some people tend to have spirit animals, which I think is a very American thing. I kind of have adopted, spirit Roomba. I mean, some people are social butterflies. I'm more like a social Roomba. I like to go out and scout the room, but then I need to back off and recharge before I injure someone. I also have the same sense of direction as a Roomba. I mean, I can put the directions into the GPS, but as soon as I need to follow the maps, I end up passing the same spot 10 times without ever getting to where I'm going. I recently discovered that I also have the same tasting men as Roombas. Their target market is 30-plus-year-old, career-driven, tech-savvy people. I think I should change my profile picture. By now, you probably have picked up that I have an accent, and that's because I'm originally from Costa Rica. Yeah. Without you that, that's right. And now I'm doing the Jonah thing. Damn it.
Whip it out, girl, whip it out.
Do that to myself. And one of the things that we have as immigrants, and it's very relatable because it speaks to mental health, is a constant fear of being framed for a crime that you didn't commit. It's a real thing, guys. And last year, that fear almost materialized as I had to go to the ER because I had a very bad migraine. I took myself to the ER, and if you need to know something on migraines, is that in order to break them, you have to take a cocktail of 3 very strong drugs. One of them is a narcotic. So I go to the ER, and I'm curled into a ball because the lights, the sound, everything hurts. And I'm just there waiting to be called, and I start seeing like people coughing their lungs out on one side, other people like holding their side, like, I don't know, gunshots or something like that. And then a nurse poking people to see if they're dead or alive. And then I realized that I'm not as good as a person as I thought because I kind of was hoping that some of them were dead. Because the list would be shorter. And my time would be I think it's just like when you're in a plane and there's an empty seat next to you and you're just hoping that the person that had that seat maybe lost their flight or got run over on the way to the flight. I know you all have thought it at some point. Don't judge me. But I'm there in the ER and I start getting hungry because I haven't been able to have anything because, nausea. So I make myself my way to a vending machine that's there. And I see that they have sandwiches and salads, and I pick the gummy bears. Because even in my worst moment with a bad headache, there's no way I'm picking a non-perishable item from that place in an ER. There's no way. Who knows how many fungus that cheese in that sandwich have grown by now? So I go and eat my gummy bears, and I'm waiting to be called. When the nurse gets me into the back of the room, into the back of the ER to get me checked, she gives me one of those gowns. And the hospital gowns, if you have seen one, it just covers your front and it's open completely on the back. I'm not in my best state of mind, so I take all of my clothes off and I put on the gown. And I sit there waiting for the doctor to come and see me. And I start feeling that the gummy bears are making their way back up. Oh, like shit. Because now in my head, yeah, shit. Hey, Joe. I just start thinking, like, I'm gonna have to puke. Where the heck do I puke? Because now my fear is I'm gonna be puking, the doctor is gonna come in, they're gonna think that I'm on something, and they're gonna think that I'm on something because I'm here to ask for drugs, and then they're gonna think that I'm trying to commit insurance fraud to get some strong, hard drugs. So I start getting paranoid, and I look at my options, and there's a sink, there's hazardous waste material, and there's a trash can. So I go to the sink because I'm like, I can open the water faucet here, I can start throwing up, and then I can just push it with the water. So I do that, and I go over the sink, and I start throwing up. Guys, That was just a Care Bear massacre. The gummy bears are just looking back at me, I'm looking at them. I'm there just opening the water faucet, hysterically shoving them down. When I feel that someone is looking at me, and I see the doctor and the nurse just standing there with a very judicious face. I mean, let's look at it from their perspective. They're standing there looking at me with a chart that says that this patient is here because she has a bad migraine and she needs a narcotic, but we are just seeing her with just her gown, her bare ass, shoving something hysterically down the drain. It's not looking good for me. I tried to explain to the doctor what happened. He does not look like he's buying it. So he says, we're gonna take you to an area where we can observe you a little bit closer, which just means like we don't believe you. We're gonna put you in a place where we can see you. And he gets me next to the triaging area where all the nurses are, where the lights are just in your face, the noise is happening. And that's terrible when you have a migraine because your senses are just hyperactive at that point in time. So I'm just sitting there and I just decide to cover myself with a blanket because everything is annoying. When a nurse just comes and pokes me and she says, you may want to move a little bit every now and then. What the fuck? Do you just roll over people to the morgue? At this point, guys, I don't know if they gave me a placebo, the real shit, but I'm just glad that I didn't get accidentally incinerated or something. Thank you so